Wires. Heather Boyd Wire here, and it's Wire Lady TV every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Sometimes I'm a few minutes late. Took me a while to get ready today. So today we are continuing with the flat wire jewelry that we started last week on the live stream. And I am going to flip the screen. I will link up the video from last week's live stream in the description below, and also I did a tutorial for some twisted wire earrings that we did last week, so I will link that up as well. So let me flip the screen so I can see who is hopping on. You guys can tell me if you can see me, if you can hear me. I know I do need a mic to go with my iPad, and that is something I've been working on, but I have to I better write that down. Actually, I'm going to write a little list of things that I have to do that I keep saying I'm going to do and I never get around to. So here's our, let me open up the video so I can see who's coming on. We have Amber, Tree Sap Girl, if you guys don't already know, is Amber. She's the moderator of my YouTube channel, and the person that creates those amazing timestamps. Thank you, Amber, so much for hopping on. Hi, Jan. How are you? Jan requested the flat wire jewelry, so we're going to continue with that this week. And hi, Kim. Hi, Sandy. I can hear you and see your sketches. Awesome. Fantastic. Hi, Nini. Hi, Mirta. Good, good, good. Everybody's hopping on. So, yeah, last week we did some really fun stuff. And I should probably show you guys what we did last week, if I have it handy. I don't know if I have it handy, but you can always check out the replays from last week. And I have just a few to show you. We did the twisted wire ones last week. So this is the ones we did last week with the little twisted wire. And then I did a tutorial for these. So we did the twisted flat wire. We did some twisted flat wire with the little loops at the bottom, and then these I did a tutorial for those twisted ones. So I'll link up those below. We're going to try some new ones. So there's these sketches. I just have to warm up a little bit, and I'm also going to write down the things that I have to remember to do. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Nancy. Yeah, if you're hopping on, tell me where you're watching from. And tell me what wire art and wire jewelry projects you're working on. So I'm going to just write down, I need a mic for my iPad. So I'm going to write that down. Hi, Susan. Nice that you're here. I commented on one of your comments that I'd be live today. I'm happy you popped on. That's fantastic. So yeah, so we did these and we did the rings. And I have a tutorial or live stream for that. I'll probably do a tutorial for the rings because it's going to be clear. These live streams are more just for troubleshooting ideas. And I also have a ring for a tutorial for a chunky ring with the stones. So I will, that was actually, here's my little bag of tricks. So this wire was one of my failed attempts at doing that ring. And I actually took thick wire and flattened it myself. So if you don't have flat wire, you can take like 16 gauge or 14 or 12 gauge wire and you can flatten it. So that's what I did there. So I also have these cabochons that I want to work with. These are from the stained glass store. So I might do something with those. Northern Kentucky, cool. Wire wrapped chaton. Is that a cat? I'm not sure. Shaw is a cat. So look at all my flat wire, guys. I have quite a bit of flat wire now. I thought I had run out of the copper, but I do have this from Beadalon. So Beadalon has the 3mm flat wire, which is the one I love, and they have different colors. So there's gold, there's rose gold, and then this is the thicker 5mm one. I don't super recommend it because it's really hard. If anything, you can use this for like a bracelet form like that because it's super hard. I might try something with that. I'll put that at the side. And then we have the silver colored, and these are all tarnish resistant. They actually also make flat memory wire. So tell me if you've ever used flat memory wire before. I've never used it, but they also have flat memory wire in the ring size. Okay, so these are flat memory wires if you guys are interested in those. I haven't used them yet. I don't think I'll use those today, but those are interesting. And then this was the aluminum. So you see the aluminum is quite a bit softer. The aluminum flat wire I got on Amazon. So that's quite a bit softer. Hi Betty, cabochon, that's what I thought. There you go, no problem. So here is also gallery wire, which I haven't used yet either. And I'll try that another time using the gallery wire. Let me know if you've ever used gallery wire. I don't have a lot of it, I only have 6 inches, so I'll try a tutorial with that at some point. But Beadalon sends me all this amazing material and I don't always have time to use it. Remember I showed you guys these on the last live stream? Well, they don't work. In fact, I almost broke my hand trying to squeeze them shut. But this is something people can use to twist wire. But honestly, Beadalon has another wire twister that's much better, or you can just twist wire with an electric drill. So this was something that was a bit of a giant fail. I have to tell them that it didn't work out for me. But let me know if you've ever used this thing as well. So I might just give it away to someone, we're gonna see. So yeah, so why don't we open up one of these new things of wire. I'll open up the rose gold, that's different. Haven't used that one yet. Teresa, Chicago, I've been to Chicago, that's awesome. A ring for your son-in-law, cool, I love that. Hi Linda. So now, this is the rose gold 3mm. It's beautiful. It's such a nice color. So let's open this one up. Sorry, it suddenly got dark outside. It's not supposed to rain, but it is. It did suddenly get really gray. So Mark's on standby if it starts raining for the laundry outside. So ça pleut pas encore. So here is the really nice rose gold copper. So if I was going to use that, I would probably pair it with the rose gold artistic wires. These are all artistic wires, so they have different gauges in that. So these are really cool. We can do something with that. And yeah, so let me know if I miss any comments. Also, Amber's super good about keeping track. Amber told me last week somebody had requested their names out of wire, and usually I do sketches for that, so I am going to do that. So what about, I don't know if you can do just like a regular ring like that. I just drew that out. I'm not sure if that would work, but also I want to try something like that because that's really beautiful like that. Why don't we try an earring like that? That's fun. So let's try the earring, or it could be a pendant, I guess, but an earring would be nice. And let's measure it so we don't waste too much wire. So I will get my ruler, if I can find it. I had it out. There we go. Perfect. So let's remove this sketch so it's not in the way. And we're going to make some earrings. And I'm not going to spill my water on the floor. I've already done that once today. So let's take this. And what's the difference between artistic wire and German wire? Well, the artistic wire is a copper wire. It's got a coating on it, so it's tarnish resistant. I believe the German wire is stiffer. It's probably a different alloy. I'm not quite sure what's in it, but I don't generally use the German wire. I believe German wire is more like a half hard type of thing, and this one is quite soft. Making an armband. Armband would be super good too, because this actually looks like an armband, but the thing is you would want it to be fully flat on your arms. So if I was to make an armband, I would probably, rather than doing it like that, I would probably take a thick wire and make the shape, like say you're going to do, I'll get a paper. So if I was to make an armband, I have a tutorial for one that's just made with thick wire, and I think it's just like some kind of like thing like that. I forget how it looks, but you can't flatten that. So if I was to do an armband, I would probably do something like this. You'd have to know the measurement first, and then you could either hammer it or send it through the rolling mill to flatten it, and then you would curve it around after. That's often how I do my flat wire work that's made with round wire that I flatten. You just have to create a design that doesn't have any overlap. And if it does, you have to be very gentle when you tap the overlap. So yeah, that's a good idea for the armband. So let's try this one here. I'm going to take my, hi Marie. So I'm going to take this one, being able to get on when you're, oh, in upstate New York. New York is so nice. I was actually near the border at one point. It's not far from Montreal. It's really not. It's like an hour away, I think, the border. So now we are going to take what size? Let's do the first one 3 inches because I'm not sure how big I want to make this. So if I cut the first one 3 inches, it might or might not be long enough. And then I want to cut these flush. So cut it so that's flush. You can even file the ends too and just cut it so that's flush. And it's a little bit thick. Maybe don't use your like best pliers. And then we're going to take this. I think I need this part to be a little bit smaller. 3 might not be long enough, but we're going to try it. So that we're going to bring this one around here. So this is with the 3 inch. So we've got that one here, and then let's turn the ends. So do you want to turn it in a spiral or not a spiral? That's what I'm not sure how it's going to work. And I would, to turn the end, use these looping pliers, because the good thing about these is, see how pliers are tapered? So it's really hard to get a consistent circle, but if you use the looping pliers, that's like cylinders, so it's much easier to do. Service was in and out. Yeah, I can imagine if you're in the country. So now we're going to take this and we're going to turn it around. And then this one too, we're going to take this. Whoops. Sometimes if you're too near the end, it slips. So we're going to turn this one around. So if we turn it around here and here. Now, if you do want to make it more, because that's just like that, but if you do want to make it more spirally, I don't have a smaller end, but we might be able to, or maybe with these, let's just try that. Turn that in a little bit. Push it in. Let's see how that's going to work. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to make spirals out of flat wire. I'm going to do this. Bring that in a little bit, and then maybe these are tapered, but we might be able to just use these to bring it in a little bit more, just a little bit. Sometimes I'm just like too careful with these, and sometimes when you just go for it, it's actually easier. So if we do this one, we have that here, and so now let's get our Sharpie again and bring that in. So that was with 3 inches, okay? And let's get a longer piece to be absolutely sure. I'm going to do it quite a bit longer, maybe 4. Hopefully it's long enough. So we're going to cut a piece that's 4 inches. Yeah, my parents have a cottage in the country and they don't have Wi-Fi there. So when we go and we need internet, we go to the next local town and just sit at a coffee shop, and that works well. So now let's get a slightly larger loop, maybe the end of a Crayola. You could use a ring mandrel too, but I'm just going to use this. We're going to bring this one in, and then this, you're going to want it to sit here underneath. So is that going to be big enough? You could even make it a little bit bigger, maybe this end of the I love these Crayola markers. I've always used these to make round forms. So that can go in there. That's pretty good. And from there, we want to figure out where to do our loop at the top. So if we put that there, and then bring this one maybe to here. Although, I think it's going to be easier we can try it that way. Yeah, what if we just try it this way? Bring this here and here. And bring that one in just to start it. And this one too, we're just going to bring this one here. I haven't completely figured out how I'm going to do this, but I sketched it, but I haven't quite figured it out. So that'll go there. I think it has to come in a little bit more. Okay, I'm just going to there and there. But then I'm going to bring it in a little bit more, I think, because it's going to be hard to, that's the trouble with the flat wire. It's going to be hard to like bring it in. So let's just cut it like about there. Okay. And this one about here. It's not like round wire that it's easy to spiral. So now I will go, don't forget to like. Aw, thanks, Mirta. That would be awesome if you guys could like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Because that definitely helps my channel when you like and subscribe and comment and all that type of thing. It helps the algorithm, which just basically means that YouTube will share it with more people. So now I'm just bringing this one in, and then I'm going to use the tweezer nose pliers to bring it in a little bit more. It is a bit stiffer, the flat wire, than using regular wire, but it's got a nice effect. So I just brought that in a bit, and then if you want to curve this, say we're going to measure it again, I think I would curve that down a little bit more. And we're trying not to get it too pocked up either. So I'm just going to curl it around a little bit more there. And a little bit more there. And see how that looks. Bring that here. And then, because sometimes when you do a drawing, you're not exactly sure how it's going to look. Like I'm not sure, I don't know if I like this or not. I'm going to bring this up a little bit more. It definitely doesn't always look like in the sketch. And then I need this part to be like a little more flat because we have to string a wire up through there. So if we've got that there and that there, then we have to bring, maybe this has to be a little bit more wide. What happened to my thing? Like this seems like an awful lot of time to spend on a simple design, but sometimes that happens. Love it. Thank you. Hi, Deb. Hi, Rose. So we're going to bring this one in like that to curve it a little bit more. We're going to bring that one in here, here and here. Whoopsies. And see, got to fit it in like a little puzzle. Like once I do one, it would be easier. But then this, it's funny how the sketch always looks better. I think maybe this line has to be a little bit bigger. I think that's the issue. This line would have to be a little bit bigger. But like I said, once I do one, then it's easier to do another one. And then we need a certain amount of flat space in here, I think. So I'm just going to kind of adjust that a bit. And it also might not look good after all. We just don't know. So we're going to bring this one up here and here. So that kind of, oh, that's not bad. It kind of fits in like a glove, but there's not a lot of area to wrap it like I would have hoped in the picture. So maybe if we hold this and bring this in a little bit more. Yeah, maybe just bring that in a little bit more. Maybe once we wrap it, it'll be okay. So that's the beginning stage. And then I'm going to get some, I think 20 gauge rose gold. There we go. Let's get some 20 gauge rose gold. Hi, Karen. Hi, Animal Calm. So now I am going to get a piece of wire about maybe 6 inches, I guess. And what am I going to do there? Because, yeah, I don't know. Now, if I want this dangling, that's the question. The sketch I did was just to have it down and then wrap it and bring it. But now I'm wondering if that's how I want to do it. I think, let's just do a little thing on the end. Because, yeah, if you want to, maybe I should have made this actually, here, I'm going to make that loop a little bigger. I should have maybe made this actually larger because now we don't have a lot of room to put beads, but we're going to do what we can. So we're going to take that, bend that out, bring that one in here. Oops, it's wiggling. Also, my eyesight isn't great anymore with my glasses on, so, but I don't want to take my glasses off, so that's an issue. And, oh, Jan's got to go. Bye, Jan. We'll see you soon. So now I'm going to put a bead on there to have that one dangling down, and then maybe a cat's eye if it fits on the wire. Sometimes they don't fit. There's also have this. Oh, that's not a bead. I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can find a bead that's going to fit on here. Because sometimes the cat's eyes, let me trim it a bit. Sometimes the cat's eye beads have a very small hole. That's the issue with the cat's eye beads. Miracle beads have larger holes. Cat's eye beads have small holes. Let's try this one. No. Yeah. Yes. No. No. Nope. Doesn't want to go. I'll try one more, and then I'll have to get a different bead because the cat's eyes, yay, they don't usually have a big enough hole. So if that hangs down there, okay, so what are we going to do? So if we have this hanging here, might be interesting. And then like, I'm just trying to see if we, if I do a loop and bring it back, or if I just do a loop and do it separate. That's the question, because originally from my sketch, it looks like what I did is I just took this, held it here, and wound it around. I might have to redo this. I think I have to bring this out, because these sketches are done without having already made the actual piece. So that's the thing about the live streams. No, I don't like it. It's a way to experiment with designs. So that didn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'll straighten this out. Let's see if I have my nylon pliers to straighten that with. And I just have to see, because sometimes I don't know where I put the pliers. Let me look over here. Okay. Yep, there they are. So these are handy. These are also bead-along, and you can use these to straighten out the wires. So, and hopefully we won't damage the bead because it's very fragile. Okay, I think that's good. So now we're going to see where the loop has to be. So the loop will be at the top. Okay, let's measure that here. And we're going to get our looping pliers. Actually, let's suspend it with the round pliers first. And then the looping pliers. Let's do a decent sized loop. Okay. And let's double check. I think that'll be good. And we're just going to trim that. Okay, cut it flush. Loop facing to the front. The loop facing to the front. Yeah, so this loop will be like flat facing to the front, so you can put an earring hook on it. I mean, you could put it also perpendicular, or you can do it parallel. So parallel, you can't see it very well, or perpendicular. I also like the perpendicular, but parallel is going to help it stay in place, I think. So now let's get the other wire. Now, if your 20 is too thick to do the wrap, let's get 22 and wrap that with that. It's nice to have a variety of gauges with in the same color. And my go-to gauges are 22, 20, 18, and also 24. And then sometimes for thicker things, I use 16, but those would be my main gauges. So now we're going to hold this in place here. And I think I'll start in the middle. Now, those are close together. So if you're going to have issues with this, getting the wire in there, you can always bend this out and then back in again, just so you can access it. Okay, and now, Now, hi Linkip. Hello. Yes, you could definitely watch the replay to catch up. So now we're going to take this and wind it around to grab that. So now that they're pushed together, you can just like wind it around a couple of times. So now we've, I don't know if you guys can see, I've twisted that in. So this is, whoops, no, it's pushed it down with my finger. That was dumb. So now we're going to bring this here. And that, it's really nice actually. So we're going to do that. And then we want to bring this down and keep maybe twisting. Oops, look what happened to that. We're going to bring it down here. I need more hands. So we're going to bring that. It's got stuck in there. So we're going to do that. And like I said, the first time making anything is always a bit of a struggle. So, and you really want to tug it so it stays in place. We're going to do there and then again. And if you can't tug it with your hand, just get your pliers and maybe one more to be sure. Okay, so we've got 3 wraps here. We've got 2 here. This thing is moving around for some reason. So that's an issue. I'm not quite sure how we're going to deal with that. Maybe what I should have done is actually taken this wire from the loop and brought it back down through there. I could have done that because right now this is twisting. So that's a bit of an issue with this twisting around. Okay. Or let me just think. Okay, I'm going to try something else. So this is what I've done with that, and you can see that it twists. I'm going to try something else. So I'm going to actually remove this here, and back you go. Okay, and then this one too. So we're going to remove this because that was something I should have predicted, but I didn't predict that it's going to twist, right? So let's just put this one back. Okay. And I think what I want to do now is I'm going to get some 22 gauge wire. Little bit of honey. Hello. Thank you. So this is the 22. So let's get a piece of the 22 and put this one here. And from there, I am going to just do the twist so far without the beads hanging down. So I'm going to bring that one in here and this one in here. And these I should have brought out a little more. There. And this one. And this one a little more. Okay, so from there, then at the top, we can bring it up and possibly form a loop. So we're going to bring this one around here. Okay, and maybe we can do a kind of a loop in here, or maybe not. Maybe we can just bring it, because I think if we try to do a loop and dangle them down, it's going to be really, really difficult. So what I'm going to do is bring this one in, maybe bend it like here. I'll bring it through here. Okay, so it's like coming towards the front. But then I'm going to bend it straight down. So I'm going to take this, because if we do it the first way that I was going to do it, then you're going to have trouble with it flipping. But if we bring this down, it won't dangle, but it will still look pretty good. And this again is another design that maybe I can work on and find some better solutions. And I think the fact that I made it really small is making it very difficult to get the design. So now if we just hang this down here, and then we need to make a little loop at the bottom. So just a little one though. So we're going to do that. I'm going to have a lot of scraps. And then we're going to take this and bend that up. So that just, it sits down, but I can't say it's dangling. It's definitely not dangling, but it is hanging down, which is cool. And then this one, we can also bring it like we did, sort of halfway up. And then we can, well, we can either do the loop parallel, or this, maybe it would be better to actually do the loop perpendicular. I think it's going to sit better. So let's get our looping pliers, bring this one around, bring this one to the front. And if we bring that one in here, and we're going to trim it. Hopefully my hands are staying in there. There, and bring this one in. So now we have a loop. Got a little bit mangled. Sometimes the looping pliers are a little bigger than what I would have liked to do, but it's not too bad. You can always trim it. Like if you don't like your loop, you can always trim it and then get the smaller ones if you want and just bring it in. So that makes it a little maybe more discreet loop. So there we have what looks super cute, and it works pretty well. So I just did the things, attached the wire, and then put the beads on after. So it's quite cute. And like I said, they don't dangle as such, but they hang down. So that's super fun. I like it. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. Hi, Leslie. Finger peace sign. I have a jig for the hand. I'll write that down, Lisa. Let me just write it down. Okay, Leslie, sorry. I'm gonna write that down, Leslie. And I'm gonna write Leslie, finger peace sign jig. Finger peace sign jig. And I will, because I have a hand and I've done the peace sign, but I don't know if I have it as a jig. But you can always email me at info@heatherboydwire.com for requests like that. I could definitely do requests like that. So now we've got that. So let's do one with the cabochon because I really wanted to do that. So let's grab maybe a black one. And I'm going to go back to the silver or gold wire. Let's go back to the silver. So I've got some silver here. And you had a friend named Teresa Lily. Cool. Hold it up to the camera. Yes, let's do that. Okay, so now, and also after the live streams, I will have all good pictures of these in the community section. So you will be able to see a decent picture. I'm sorry that the quality and the lighting is not great, but I will definitely put a decent picture of that in the community section so you can see it. And then now let's do the cabochon. So I will get some scissors and open that up. Hi, Emerald Dragon. Roberta. Hi, Roberta. Nice. Cool. So let us take this and do just a simple design like that. So we're going to take this, and what we'll want to do is, I'm not sure the size, so let's just pull this out here. I am going to maybe just put it around a round form, maybe the end of the ring mandrel. And we're just going to bring this one around here. And see how that's going to go. I think that should be pretty good. And we can adjust it after. So now I'm just going to trim this one here. And see how this would go. And then trim it maybe a little bit here. Trim it here. There. And then I'm going to, this might be a little long, so I'm going to just try to do a little spiral thing at the top. like we've done with the flat one. And just take this. This seems a little bit stiffer than the rose gold sometimes, or maybe not. I thought it was stiffer, but it's not really. So this one I'm just using these thin pliers, although probably the looping pliers are better, but I'm just going to bring this one around. Okay, and then this ends up being like a little bit long, I think. So I'm going to trim this one a little bit, maybe to here. And hi, Christina. Gotta notify me. I usually go live every Wednesday at 1:30, sometimes a little late, and YouTube is not always good about notifying people. So sorry about that. That's if you have the notifications on, you should get one, but they might not always work. So if you guys can always check around 1:30 on Wednesdays, like today I was about 10 minutes late, so that can happen for sure. It just happens sometimes. So now I'm going to just keep bringing these in. I think now these might be, I should have made the wire a little shorter, but we can exaggerate it and make it a little bit longer. See, what you can do here is you just keep adjusting it a little more on each side to make sure that at one point it's going to connect. So I'm just playing around with this until they look like they're about the same size. And I like that idea of it looking more spiral, and we can just kind of press that in a little bit more here. And this one, we're gonna have to get it to sit. Now, usually what I do with these cabochons is I actually make a groove in the cabochon and I put a wire through them. So I don't know if this is gonna work or not. This might just slip all over the place. So we're gonna see. That's why like gallery wire and stuff with this would be really good. And it's also not a round shape, so we have to adjust that a little bit. So we're gonna bring this one in here, adjust that, bring that in here, and then maybe just bring it out a little bit more. So I'm gonna bring that one up here and that one there. Yeah, I usually, like I said, I usually do a groove. I don't know if any of mine are grooved. No, none of them are that I have out are grooved. So, but if we put this one in here, we should be able to get it to sit in there. But the trouble is now, like, how do you prevent it from slipping out? And that's going to be difficult. So you know what? I thought about doing something like that, but it's still going to flip out. So why don't we try something different, where we're going to wind some wire on there. So let me get some, I don't know, 22 or 24. We can just see. Connie. Nice. And Bernice. Nice. Yeah, I just made one other like pendant earring thing. So you didn't miss too much. And I'm just going to cut a piece of the 22. This might be too thin. It's weirdly tangled. There we go. So I'm gonna just cut a piece of this and just trim it off. So, because I thought about making my own gallery wire. That would be fun because the gallery wire is basically sort of flat with these little things at the outside, but I don't know if this is gonna work at all. But what if we took the flat wire, and it might just take up too much space. So we're gonna take this, like, and maybe do like a little loop thing. That might be interesting. Like if you could somehow, or go back and forth and attach it. I don't know how much, but what if we took this and then we'd want these to be about more or less the same size. But you know what, for this, I'm just playing, so I really don't mind if it doesn't work at all. So we're just gonna bring this one up, and I'm kind of bending it by hand. Let's just see how much. We're gonna need it thicker than that, I think. Although maybe not. Let's try it. Okay, why not? We're just gonna go around here, down, I could do them a little longer and then just up. So we're making like little kind of teeth to grab the cabochon with, and this might work and it also might not work at all. So we're going to try it and see. Huge storm. Small dog. Aw. There we go. Everybody's got stuff to do, and I appreciate when you're here, but if ever you can't be here or you have to leave, you can always watch the replay. And Amber is so generous and kind to make timestamps. So if there's just one of the projects you want to see, she takes notes and she makes timestamps, and usually has them done within a few days, which is amazing and much appreciated. So if you have to go, no problem at all. No need to apologize. You can always watch the replay. So yeah, so I'm just doing these little teeth thing, and we're gonna see how this works. Might work, might not work. It's kind of looking funky though. We're gonna see how it goes. And this is sort of combining the flat wire with the round wire, and I might actually run out of wire, but I could, the thing about this is I could probably spread them out if they don't fit the whole wire. So I'm just gonna do a bunch of these, and then I think I'm gonna run out of wire. So I actually gonna leave this one like that. So I'm gonna bring this up a bit, spread them out a little bit, and then keep going. This one should have been up here. Keep going. So we're making these little teeth around, up and down. And there we go. So this part's a little bit monotonous, but we don't know if it's gonna work until we try. Okay. I'm gonna bring this up and down. Yeah, we have actually quite a nice day in Montreal. A little hot and humid, but the humidity is breaking next week, so it should be good. It's summer after all. There we go. So some of these are more narrow than others. I'm just doing them by hand. You can definitely bend these with your pliers and measure them so they're exactly the same size. That's not a problem at all. And like I said, this might be a complete waste of time and not work, but if we don't try it, we're not gonna know. So yeah, see, these ended up being a lot more loopy. I kind of like them loopy too. Might be able to change the other ones so they're more loopy. Bring this one down. Like that one's a little bit big. Okay, so we've got a bunch of these on. Yeah, see, these ones are more loopy. They got a little big as we went around. And what we can do is take maybe this. I don't know if we can just bend them over. We're gonna see. What if we just start by bending them over a little bit? There. I don't know if they're in the right position. We're just gonna kind of bend them over a little bit. Oh, this one is a little stubby one. He's not working at all, but that's okay. You can also get your pliers or your round pliers, I guess, and just kind of bend them around here. I like the look of it, even if it doesn't work. It's kind of cool. Bring this one around and around and around, round and around. Okay, so now, interesting. We're gonna put that one in here. Ooh, I like it. And now we're going to, but this looks like this should have been a little more snug in there, so we can fix that. Okay, we can fix this because look, it looks, at least it's holding the cabochon in place pretty well. These maybe have to be bent a little bit more, I think. Yeah, these, maybe the ones at the back should be really bent over flat. I think so, because the back of the cabochon is quite flat. So why don't we go around and really bend those over and as best as we can. You can do them by hand or you can do them with the pliers. There we go. Okay, so let's try that. We're going to put that back. I don't know if there's a top and a bottom, maybe. And this part, we're going to have to bring it in. See, there's a gap. There's a little bit of a gap, but it's pretty good actually. Okay, we're gonna bring that one in. This one, hold that. There's a bit of a gap here. So what do we do for that? We take this and just curve. That one maybe was already curved enough. So let's just curve this one out a little bit more. Here. It's very slippy, this one. Let's see, we're gonna bring that one in. That's the trouble with these glass things. They're super, super slippy. And bring that one in a little bit more. And this one, it's pretty soft though, this wire, the flat. It is pretty soft, so it's not too bad to work with. And then what if we just bring this one in? We have to get that out of the way because we want this to hold in place. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend you guys do this design. It's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit slippy, but I do like the idea. I think there's some potential here, but I'm just not quite sure if it's going to work well, because now you could just take this wire and bring it around a couple of times. And then this one here, how are we going to do this so it's not too, we want to bring it right in. I think we have to bring it right in there so it's going to hold in place. We're going to bring this, there's a lot of gap there. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to bring this one around. And it also might just snap out of there. Yeah, this is definitely a learning experience for this one. And we're going to see what it does. So we've got like this holding it at the back, which is kind of cool. They're not very consistent, but they work. This part then is going to hold them at the front. But like I said, I kind of maybe like the loops a little more loopy. I don't know if we can adjust them. You could probably go in with these maybe and adjust them. Although once they're really pinched, it's really hard. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to. So it somewhat works. You don't want to hammer it because you're going to break the glass, but it's holding. See, the ones at the bottom I made really small, so they don't work as well. The ones at the back hold it quite well. It's flat there. So I think there's maybe some potential with this design. I'm not 100% sure. It's kind of cool. And then to attach it to a thing, you would need jump rings. So I was wondering if you can make flat jump rings. I think you can. I think you can make flat jump rings. I'm not sure how that would work. Hey, Randy. Oh my gosh, I'm missing people. Hi, Sylvia. Just I was a little bit into my design here. So now if you're going to make jump rings, well, that one's too small. So this is a flat wire. I don't even know if there's a good use for flat jump rings or not. But yeah, if you'd have to bring it around here, and then you would have to also do it flush. And then it didn't get quite, like it's hard to get them quite even though. That's the thing with, and you can't really wind it around a round form like you would do most jump rings. So I don't know if flat jump rings are a thing. Maybe they already exist, but it's very hard to get them. You could do like square flat jump rings might be easier. It's just really tricky to close the end on that. But I mean, I guess you could do it. It's not too bad. But if you're going to attach that, I would get, I would make your own jump rings or buy some. And I'll just use 18 gauge wire for now to do that. And could weave some wire through the loops to secure everything. That's a good idea. Use the nylon jaws to prevent any marring. Yes, good idea. The nylon jaw pliers are wonderful. And that was you that told me, Amber, that you can straighten wire with that. So that's cool, because I had them and I didn't really know what to do with them. So let's just make a couple of jump rings for this. That one got a little scratched. We are going to take this and what size? Maybe bigger. Let's make them a little bigger. I'll just make a few. So we're just going to wind them around here. And I can actually get my, whoops. I can actually get my double flush cutter. Yeah, I've been having fun with the chainmail stuff. It's been a lot of fun. And with jump rings. So I have quite a collection of jump rings now. So we're going to take, I would never do any of those super intricate chainmail things, but I like the idea of doing simple chainmail. It's fun and it's got a really nice effect. People that actually make armor out of chainmail, like that's pretty insane. So we're just clipping our jump rings with our flush cutters, trying to get in there. There we go. These are double flush cutters actually from Xuron. So I think I only need 2 actually. So let's do that. I don't have my jump ring opener handy, but that's what I used before. So now we're going to stick these in here. One there, and then one here. The nylon, yes, I have seen replacement pads for those. I think Beadalon even sells them, I'm not sure. Okay, so there we've got 2 jump rings, and then we can do another one at the top, if you like. Whoops, to hold them all together. There, or you can just stick it right on a cord, I guess. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So there's interesting. Definitely got some potential, and there's a bit of gap in there too, but I think there's a lot you can do with it. It's tricky because this is so slippy. So there's this one pair of chainmail earrings. Cool. Yeah, it takes forever. So here's this one with the setting. Thank you. And let's do something else. We have time. So yeah, these were some other ideas. One was just to do something like super abstract like that. That might be cool. And then the other one was to do another type of like a sun thing with the wire. I don't know if that would be a good idea or not. And then also like a bracelet, just a simple bracelet like that. Let's try the sun. And I will, maybe the rose gold again we could do. I mean, I have the gold too. Why don't we just open all these up? Let's get the gold one. Yay. So we're gonna open up the gold one. I've asked Beadalon to send me some more of the flat wire because I really am enjoying it. It's really nice. And then if you're going to do a bracelet, like if you want a band for the bracelet, I would maybe recommend using the 5mm, because look at how much thicker it is. Like this is a little fragile as a bracelet, but say you are doing a bracelet, I would use this 5mm. Let me just see if I have the bracelet mandrel here. I used to have it in my nearby stuff. Here we go. So here is the artistic wire bracelet mandrel. Let me grab a little sip of water. Roberta says, I like the jump ring openers. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, I used one of those in the Tip Tuesday tutorial, and they are awesome. I just ordered it on Amazon. I don't think Beadalon has those. So now, if we want to do a bracelet, we can just measure it. Oh, but yeah. Okay, what am I going to do? Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. If I bring it around here, Like this stuff is really, I think you're gonna need like a more heavy duty mandrel, and you would want to actually hammer it, because this is heavy duty stuff. I tried to make stuff, I made a ring last week, and the 5mm is very, very thick, but it's very cool. So now, if we are going to do a bracelet, like this type of bracelet, where you put something in between there, then you can just take this and get your, see, I've already gotten distracted from doing my son, but that's okay. We're just going to do the bracelet for now. So now we're going to take the looping pliers and then just bring it back. Okay, so we've got one there, and then this side, I probably should have measured it. Maybe to about, let's put it back on the thing so we can kind of measure it. Okay, so we do that here and here. We want it centered. Let's do it this way so we can actually see a somewhat measurement. So that goes here, that goes here. Sometimes it's very hard to eyeball things. So then I would say to about here. And take this and bring that one around. Oof, yeah, this is heavy duty wire. So now you say, how am I going to cut that and finish the end? I don't even think I would attempt to turn the end there, because it's going to be really, really hard. Although I guess I could try. So what happens if we take this? This end's going to be maybe a little long, but we can try. So if we take this, maybe I'll cut it a little bit more. That's like 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to just cut it a teeny bit more. Okay, so we're going to take this. Ooh, yeah, this is hard stuff. Yeah, this is really hard stuff. How did I cut that before? I think we're gonna have to like bend it back and forth or something. Yeah, ooh, yeah, and look, you can see the copper there. So yeah, don't use your best pliers, maybe even the memory wire cutters or something. I'm just gonna score it, okay? Rather than actually cutting it, I just scored it, because I don't want to kill my cutters, and then I'm going to cut it. So that's a solution. If you want to cut something thick, you just score it and then bend it back and forth. So this is the, let me keep track of this. This is the, I mean, I got to remember, it's hard as heck. So this is the 5mm. Okay, I'm going to put that back in my bag of flat wire here. Okay, and bracelet mandrels, yeah, they're handy. So this is what we have so far. Now, how do we deal with those? I don't know if we can loop them or not. We're gonna try. So now we're gonna take this near the end, and oh man, that's hard. Whoosh. Okay, so now we're gonna take that and bring it around. Don't hurt yourself, guys. Okay, so now, and then this one, I hope I don't break these pliers. I'm gonna bring that one around there, a little bit more. I should probably put this on a clamp or something, because it's very, and I'm slightly, I think I'm damaging the wire a little bit. So yeah, you might have been better just to trim these. Yeah, because I am slightly damaging the wire, I think, a little bit. But, and then we'll take this and we're going to just close that up. Yeah, this wire is very, very hard. I'm going to bring this one in. This is the 5mm copper. So just be careful with it. I didn't bend that super evenly, but it gives you the idea. So there we have, this is what you would want for a basic bracelet shape. So there we have, very basic. And if you did this with the 3mm, it would just be really, really soft. So this at least is going to hold. So now the idea would be for that would be to put something in between. So I thought like a little pendant, or I think just like a little spiral bead might be cute. So let's get a biggish bead. How big does it have to be? Maybe it should be bigger than that. I don't have a lot of large beads here. I have a hematite one. We can try that. So let's try that. And you could either use 18 or 20 gauge wire. Let's see if the 18 fits. 18. Braid wires together for that kind of bracelet. Yeah, you could definitely do braided wires together. Heat it up first. I thought about that, Sandy. I don't have the capacity to do that, but that's a great idea to heat the wire, and then it'll be more flexible. So if you have more advanced jewelry tools, I don't know, do you heat it with a torch? How would you do that? Yeah, you could definitely heat the wire to soften it up. That's a great idea. So now we are going to take this one, and what I'm going to do is first make a loop on one side, and you can make a decent size loop because we're going to loop it into those. So which size do we want? Maybe this size? That might not be big enough. Well, it's pretty good. So that could be a good size. So this, we'll just do this size here. Okay. And then this would go on top. I haven't made one of these in a while. I forget how I did it. Like that. And yeah, I think usually I do the one end and then I turn it around, but that's okay. We're gonna just go ahead and do that one too. And bring this one around here. So this would be the idea. You have something like that. And I'm just going to finish one of the ends and clip it. And we're going to pinch that one in. And then this one, let's just put it back on here. Let's move this out of the way and bring it around. And then we're just going to cage the bead in here. I have some other tutorials for this type of thing, for earrings and bracelets. You can make a bunch of these and just connect them together for a bracelet. That's always fun. And we're just gonna, it just gives it a little bit more detail when you add a bit of a spiral cage, they call it, on the bead. So we're gonna take that and then just bring it around. I pulled it a little too tight, but that's okay. So now we want to cut that flush. Get that one there. And just bring this one in. There, perfect. I think that's good. Oh, this one got overlapped a little bit. Get in there, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want that one to be so pushed up, but we can just adjust, do any little adjustments that you want. And then just attach it. There we go, sorry. Just focused on this. There we go. It's not too big a deal. Yeah, I would have liked it to sit down a little bit more. I'm not sure why it's not sitting. I'm gonna open it up a little more just to be sure, because I want it to sit right down under that loop, if I can get it to sit there. Oopsies. I pulled it a little too tight. So now I really wanted to just sit kind of underneath that loop there. So I'm just gonna push that in there. I think it's fine. There we go. So now let's just see how that's gonna work. So these two are the same direction. And then this one, the idea would be you can put one in there and you can actually push that down so it's more fixed, a little bit more fixed. And then when you wear the bracelet, the idea would be to, but now this is gonna, I don't know how well that's gonna go down there. Maybe if we push it on an angle a little bit. Okay, we're just gonna push those down on an angle. I guess you could also like put jump rings type of thing, but that would be the idea. It would just sit in like that and you can pinch it down a little bit. So it's pretty simple. Just like a basic shape, you can put anything in the middle and then you have your flat wire for the band. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so now annealing. Ah, yes, that makes sense for the heating, right? Cool. So now, one more thing, super quick. So where did I put the gold wire? We're gonna try to do a kind of a sun. I haven't quite decided. I didn't quite decide how I wanted to finish that. But I think what I ended up doing for the sketch was just to, what do I want to do first? Maybe take this here and then put it around a round form. Not too big, like maybe this type of thing. Okay. And then, no, what am I doing here? Let me just think. This one, okay, this goes this way, sorry. That one goes that way and that way. That's it. Okay, sorry, I have to think. My brain starts to get a little bit fried. So there we have that. And then the idea would be to bend this way. Okay. And then we're gonna have to measure it, I think. So we're gonna bend that. I mean, this might be a fun design with not flat wire too, but we can try it with the flat. I need a ruler for sure. Try the bracelet. Awesome. Yeah, you could even try it with the thinner flat wire if this is too thick. Like this is heavy duty stuff. But if you do want to try it with this copper wire, the thinner, it's okay. It's not too bad. And if you do hammer it a little bit, it'll stiffen it up. So that's an idea. So let's do the sun. I don't know how many rays we're going to need. I don't want to do them too big. Maybe 1/2 inch. Or 3/8 of an inch. Let's just do them about 3/8 of an inch because I don't want them too big. Okay, so we're gonna bend that and push it against the pliers so it's nice and a nice sharp bend. So maybe what we'll do first, rather than going around, like trying to form it around the circle, let's just do a bunch of these bends first. I think it's gonna be easier. There. Yeah, so let's just do a bunch of these back and forth, and then we're going to figure out what we're going to do. So measure them 3/8 of an inch. I don't know how many we're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did 6, 7 for the sketch. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to see how many we need. Let's start with maybe 6 or 5. Okay, so, and 1, 2, 3, perfect. And another one. 1, 2, 3. And another one. 2, 3. I think we're going to need at least, they seem to be getting bigger. That wasn't my intention. I don't know why they seem to appear to be getting bigger, but they're not supposed to be. And that way. Okay, so now we're going to start to bring it around. Make sure the angle is good. There and there. And we might have to like adjust these angles. Okay, and this one around. Perfect. And then this one around. And this one. It's always fun working these out in wire because I do the sketches and I'm not always clear if they're actually going to work. So I think this might work. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 here. And that might be enough. Yeah, see, this one ended up being a little bit smaller. Let's see if we can get that one up a bit. Sometimes when you start with something one size and then it just gets bigger, bigger, or smaller, smaller. It just happens. Okay, so let's get this one right around and then this one up here. I think that'll be good. And what we can do from there is we are going to bring this one around and then I have to measure and I'll do a, see, this is what I haven't decided what to do with the ends. So let me just trim a little extra off because I don't know what we're doing. And what I want to do is, yeah, I thought about maybe putting a cabochon in there. I have little ones downstairs, but then we have the issue of whether it's going to stay in place. So let's not do that for now. I am going to, got 22, oh, that's 26. I do not want 26 gauge wire. I'm not sure where that came from. I want 22, so I'm going to find 22 and we will attach that all together. If I can find the 22 gauge wire. Oh boy, I wonder where I put that. This might be tricky, trying to find it. That's 26 there, and looking here, 18, 20, found it, 22. Okay, so here's the 22, and we'll cut a decent size. Pickle. We're talking about pickles? Oh my goodness, you guys are gonna make me hungry. So let's go ahead and start to attach these. So first I'm gonna wind this one, maybe once or twice. Okay. But do I want to do it like that all the way around? That's the question. Because that's the other thing. You could just like attach it with with wires and then trim them. How would that be? Because rather than bring it all the way around, it might be fun just to attach them a little bit. Let's see how that's going to work, because that's going to be on the inside, so maybe it doesn't matter. We're going to pinch that in place. So we can try that. We're going to bring that one that way and then go around 1, 2, and then this one. And then that way you don't have wires like winding all the way around. It might be interesting. So we're going to do that one. And then that'll be it for today. Slowly hacking our way through these flat wire things. And then next week I'll do something different. So if you guys have any ideas for next week, let me know. At some point I'll be taking a vacation, so I'm not sure which week that will be. I will let you know. And there we go. So now we're going to keep going in these. I like the way this looks with these separate. I think they're kind of cool. Just want to get those pokey ends in. And we're going to do another one here. But I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with the ends. Bye, Sylvia. More flat wire. Yeah, I'm with you. I need more flat wire too. So I have put a call in for Beadlon, and hopefully they got my message and will send me more flat wire because it's awesome. And I feel like I've just touched the tip of the iceberg with ideas for designs and stuff. So I'll definitely be exploring it more. I love the twisted flat wire. I think it looks so cool. So this is what we've got so far, but I haven't decided what I want to do. What if, okay, this is like totally backtracking here. What if I straighten this out and made that into a spiral? Now that I've slightly damaged the wire, but not too bad. Where are those little plastic guys? If you are nylon tip pliers, where would you be? There we go. Let's see if we can work. Yeah, it works on this too. Cool. There we go. Still a little kinky, but that's okay. So that's what we've got so far. See? So you guys can see. And then I'm going to try to spiral that one in. So let's see what we can do. I like the separate wraps too. They look good, eh? Yeah, I think they look nicer, cleaner, definitely cleaner, more minimalist. So let's take this end. This 3mm flat is so much easier to use than the 5. Oopsie. So we're going to take this, bring this one in a bit. Yeah, looping pliers are best for this because especially with the flat wire, because it keeps them equal, even, you know. So we're going to just bring this one in a little bit more. This is interesting. I like this. Now, if I had had more of an end on the wire, I would have been able to maybe make more of a spiral. But for now, this is what I got. And actually, this is going to come in a little bit. So I'm going to bring this one in. And then this one now, we're going to bring it down. Okay, so let's get, I'm sorry I say so all the time. Now you guys are going to be hyper aware of it, and it's going to bother you every time I say so. But sometimes we can't help what we're in the habit of saying. There was something else I used to say all the time, and someone used to tease me about it. Maybe it was Jay, I forget. I used to say something all the time, and I forget what it was. Maybe Amber remembers. And I probably still say it, but I used to say it a lot. So now yes, we're going to bring this one in. Problem, what do I do with this end? Well, I guess what I might do, yeah, what do we want to do with this end? Because we can clip it for it to sit flat in there, or we can bend it back that way. And we just don't want a rough end. Like this looks nice. That looks nice. And we could just kind of bend it over and wrap it in there. So let's see, I'm going to try to bend it this way though. Just to bend it in. I think that's going to work like that. Let's just keep it simple. We're going to bend it back that way. Maybe make it a little bit longer. And then I'm going to trim that. I think it'll be fine. Maybe curve it a bit though, so it'll follow that curved look. See, so all the time it's only annoying when they're professional speakers. Well, I'm not a professional speaker. Thank goodness. I have done speaking before at different like workshops and conferences and stuff, but I am definitely not professional speaker caliber, like people that do Toastmasters and there's a public speaker association in Canada, and I forget what it's called, but I've been to some of their conferences and talks and stuff just as a spectator. And I know a girl, actually, if anybody is interested in public speaking. I have a friend. Her name is Susanna Baum. I actually interviewed her a couple of years ago when I had a podcast, and she's an amazing public speaker and public speaking teacher, and she actually trained me when I did my talks, when I was doing talks at a professional women's network. And I followed her program, her online program, and it helped me a lot for that, to prepare a speech and to pull it off type of thing. But she's amazing. She's very fun, and she's part of this association. So now we've just, we've attached that bit in there, and let's bring this one up a little bit more. So you see, works pretty well. These ones, it's kind of cool. This in theory is supposed to end flush with that, so it's not going to scratch or anything. And I would add some more 22 gauge wire in there just to be sure. The sun is brilliant, thank you. No pun intended. So now let us go ahead and wrap this one in here. I actually really like it. So we're gonna bring this one in here. One of those things I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, but when you just follow that creative path, sometimes you get very pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to clip this and that, and the other side, and that'll be it for today, guys. And let me know if you want anything next week. If anybody has mentioned anything, maybe Amber, you could let me know. Deb loves it, and Susan loves the way it looks. How long the points are? They're about 3/8 of an inch for the points. There we go. So there's that one. And then we just have one more area that doesn't have a spring on it, but I think what I would do for that, because I like this spiral to come down, it did get a little kinked in there. Can't do much about that at that point, but I would just attach those last two. I think that would be fine. Here's a teeny little piece. I don't know if this is going to be too hard to work with sometimes. Little pieces are harder to work with because you can't catch the ends. I can try it. We're going to bring that one in here and here. So I would attach these two together to hold them in place. So I'm just going to hold that and bring this one in, and then I'm going to show you guys everything, and I will post a photo in the community section after. There we go. Cool. So let's trim that. And then if you want to hang it on something, you can just hang it in one of the sun rays. And this one. Perfect. Pinch it in. And I will show it to you guys. And then make sure this one, I guess, is sort of centered. There. Oh, it's so cute. Yeah, just make sure your ends are clipped enough that they're not like sticking out. This one, I cut it a little long, so we can trim it a bit, and then you can pinch it. So let's show you guys that one. Awesome, looks awesome, thank you. I think I'd use a heavier gauge for the last bit to make it so be able to be the bail. Yeah, you can add a little bail on top, a little jump ring or something on top. It's pretty solid. So there's the sun. Finito, and let's see what else we made today. So sun, this is the funky little cabochon with my homemade gallery wire. That was cool, the little loops at the top. Let me know which is your favorite, guys. This was the first one with the double loops that I kind of struggled with the design, but it's good. This thing doesn't super dangle, but it looks nice. And then we have the bracelet. So let me know which is your favorite in the comments. And hi JC, looks so beautiful, thank you. Half is good, Amber. Half round wire is fun, yeah. Nice. Yeah, so let me know which is your favorite. And if I missed anybody's questions or comments, you can always email me at info@heatherboydwire.com, I am going to, Sandy likes a bracelet. I am going to switch the camera, and so I won't see your comments, but I will see you guys in the Wire Makers Club. I'm going to say goodbye. So that's it. So thank you guys so much for hopping on the live stream, and thank you, Amber, for always moderating the chat and eventually doing the timestamps. No rush for that, but Amber does do the timestamps, so you'll be able to hop to whichever project that you would like to know how to make. And if there are any of these projects that you really need a tutorial for, you can let me know as well, either in the comments under the video once it's posted, or you can email me. So have a great rest of the day, a great night, and we will see you the next time. Bye.